And that was a tough car, huh? Mustangs. They're tough.
Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review. This is your host, Steve, and welcome back to another installment of the build, the 1967 Mustang Eleanor, gone in 60 seconds. Pack 14 is what I'm working on here, and that comprises of stages 51 through 54. And looks like we start working on the interior a little more here. That's what this whole pack is about. And here's your build instructions, of course. Now remember, this kit is only available right now from FanHome. We'll look at these instructions as we go along in this build in this video. So the article that's involved here is looking for an audience, the beautiful Eleanor. And then Donnie Astricky, Memphis best friend. And going along here is 60-second files, go behind the scenes of the original movie, the tow truck method, and nobody stops the tow truck. And we look at the 1999 Infiniti Q45 Rachel. And we look at here the 1967 Ferrari 275 GTB4 Nadine. Almost looks like a Z, 280Z. Very cool there. And lastly, another article here on the official pace car for the 1979 Indianapolis 500, the 1979 Ford Mustang 3, and not the body style I really liked for the Mustang. I'm glad they went away from that and went back to the old school style Mustang. Alright, let me get started here on the first stage, stage 51. Let's look at the build instructions for stage 51. 51, I install the floor, front kick panels, and pedals. Here's those parts, and there's how it's listed. Work on those front kick panels first, both sides. Continue putting in screws for those. Then the pedals, and the switch for the pedals, which would be for your brake lights, and your accelerator pedal, engine noises, both sides there. Let me get the parts and I'll be right back. Here's parts for 51. PS05, PS09 screws. The switches are 03 switch and the 04 switch, micro switches there. The mounts for those switches. The kick panels, they do have the velvet material on them, made of plastic. And the pedals, very sporty looking pedals, very nice. One switch gets actuated by the brake and the other one by the accelerator. Bring over our floor that we just assembled in the previous pack. I'll turn this over and bring over the side kick panel, and it's just going to mount straight down on that. We're going to put a PS08 screw in here on the end, and PS05s on these other two. PS08, PS05, and the last one. That's good there. And that's good there. That's how that looks there. Let me do the other side and I'll be right back. And the last one on the other side. And that's how that looks there. Both sides are done there. Now let's move on to the switches for the pedals. I'm going to install the micro switches, and I have both switches here, the 03 and the 04. The 03 is 51F and the 04 is 51E. So this one goes on the right and the other one goes on the left. Now this is going to mount on the back side. Bring it over and hold those in place. Perfect. PS05 screw goes into this. That's good there. Go ahead and put the pedals in next. 2 screws hold that in place. PS05 screws. And 2. That's good. Check the operation. Perfect. And that's all we do for stage 51. Let's head over and do stage 52. Let's look at the build instructions for stage 52. 52, start assembling the dashboard. You see the dashboard and a little panel there. Going to put that panel on, put a screw in it. Let me get the parts, I'll be right back. And here's the dashboard. PS08 screws, little panel here made of plastic. Here's our dashboard. Very detailed here. Looks like the emergency brake, a key, and a knob here for adjusting stuff. There's the top of the dashboard and the back. All made of plastic. First thing I'm going to do is install this panel, and that simply just goes down just like that. We're going to put a PS08 screw on the back side. And so we are done with stage 52. Let's head over and do stage 53. Let's look at the build instructions for stage 53. Stage 53, I start assembling the dashboard instruments and trim. Here's those parts. Here's the listing of the parts. Put the decals on first for the instruments. That's how they go there. The chrome trim. The clear parts. That gets mounted there. 3 screws on the back side. The emblem. A couple of screws for that. Let me get the parts and I'll be right back. Here's the parts for stage 53. PS05, PS13, the decals for the instruments, clear part for the instruments, the official Eleanor logo. I'll give you a close-up of that. And the chrome trim for the instruments. And the polished metal trim for the instruments also. Very fragile filling there. Put our stickers on first. We'll put our speedometer on first. So just take an X-Acto knife. Attach it to that, like I did there. And then that will go straight down. just like that. And you can see that. And the next one. Just like that. And they're both down there. Looks good. Looks good there. Perfect. And the last one. Next, we're going to bring our chrome trim over. We're going to put our lens on the back side. You can see how it kind of protrudes out. You want that going forward. Just like that. That's how that looks. Next, we'll put our polished trim on this. And that will simply just lay down on. Okay, those are snapped in. That looks good. Mount this to the dash, bring the dash over. Looks good. Love it. Turn it over, put 3 PSO5 screws into this. Perfect. That's how that looks there. Here's a close-up of that emblem. Very cool. And last, we'll put our emblem on here. Goes into those slots. 2 PS13s go into this from the back side. 2 very tiny PS13s go into this. There's one. And the next one. And that looks great there. Nice. Very nice. That completes stage 53. Let's head over and do the final stage for pack 14, stage 54. Let's look at the build instructions for the final stage, stage 54 for pack 14. Stage 54 will work on the glove box, radio, and fire extinguisher. Here's the parts. Assemble the fire extinguisher first. Very nice. Then start working on the glove box area, radio, glove box door, and mount that down on the interior floor. That's what it looks like. Let me get the parts, I'll be right back. Here's the parts. Here's all the parts. We have the parts for the trunk, all made of plastic. Another panel, the decals for the fire extinguisher, Kitty brand it says, and the fire extinguisher itself, the radio, PS05, PS08, and PS09. Assemble the fire extinguisher here. We're going to put the handle on first, and it only goes on one way. Just like that. Locked in there. PS09 screw goes into this, so I'm going to put that in first. There we go. And screw that to it. Screw that down. Perfect. Next, the other part of the fire extinguisher just press fits on there. Just like that. Next, we're going to go ahead and put our decals on. Just like that. Right up against it. Man, the smaller one above. Line it up there correctly. That's good. And good. That's how that looks. Great looking fire extinguisher, I must say. So we're going to put that aside. We're not going to install that just yet. Bring over the dash. We're going to put those parts on there next. Next we install this panel. And that's going to go just like that. DS09. Good there. And next we do the radio. Radio goes in just like that. PS05. And that was a PS09 back there, not a DS, a PS. So PS05 for the radio. Two of them. And the last one. That's good. That's how that looks. Looks great. And we'll put in our back panel behind the glove box. And that's going to mount down just like that. 3 PS05 screws go into this. Looks good there. And the last thing, put our glove box door in. Kind of snaps in place and closes. Perfect. We'll open up. Looks great. Next we'll bring over our floor. We're going to put this down on the floor. And it's going to insert on the back here and on the sides. Just like that. 2 PS08s go into this. They're a flange screw. And the last one. That's good there. They're both in. And that's how that looks. That completes stage 54. Had a blast building this. And there you go. That completes pack 14. Had a blast building all this. Looks fantastic, I think. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel, and please smash that like button. Helps with the algorithms and gets my channel out there. Happy modeling, everybody, and take care. Oh, don't forget, you can get this from FanHome.